During the day, a road is just a way forward, but at night, it becomes something else entirely. It requires more from you, like more focus, more patience, more trust in what you can't see. That's just a short way to understand how the road at night hits harder. In fact, that story is way longer, and it starts at the moment you sit on your bike. During the day, riding is softened by visibility, by noise, by the feeling that everything is spread out and manageable. But at night, that layer disappears. The road stops feeling wide and forgiving. It starts feeling close, personal, and even demanding. Every decision carries more weight, and every second feels tighter. Riding at night doesn't enhance the experience. It compresses it. And suddenly, all of your senses are wide awake. There is a rush that comes with that compression. Nothing reckless or the adrenaline chasing kind, but the kind that sharpens you from the inside. Your senses wake up faster than your thoughts. The moment the light fades, your body knows something has changed. Your hands feel the bars more clearly. Your eyes work harder. You're no longer drifting through a ride. You are completely in it. Also, distance behaves differently after dark. Headlights restrict visibility and bring everything else tight, like corners that appear later. You stop trusting memory and start trusting reaction. That shift creates tension, and inside that tension lives the rush. Attention locks in, catching every detail. Even sound becomes more intimate at night. The engine feels closer to your chest at night. Not louder, just more present, as if the space between you and the bike has narrowed. Small mechanical sounds that go unnoticed during the day become clearer, and vibrations feel more defined, as though the bike is responding with precision rather than force. The ride becomes less about movement and more about connection. This is the part where our confidence shifts in the dark as well, and it's put to the test. During the day, it often comes from familiarity, from recognizing the road and expecting it to behave as it always has. But at night, that expectation goes away. We must know that confidence is built slowly, through attention, not overthinking. Then you check, you adjust, or you leave space. On the other hand, speed feels less casual, and every decision matters more. The intensity doesn't come from pushing harder, but from moving cleanly, knowing each choice fits the moment. Night riding asks for trust, but it never lets that trust feel settled. You rely on grip you can't fully see, suspension reacting to what stays hidden in shadow, and drivers whose intentions only become clear when distance disappears. That uncertainty keeps our attention forward and steady. There is no room for distraction. The ride narrows into a quiet flow between what's visible and what you sense is about to happen. Also, low energy becomes more noticeable at night. Without daylight holding things together, tiredness becomes harder to ignore. Reaction slow as focus loosens. You notice it in small ways, in how you move or how you respond. Night riding makes you aware of your own condition as much as the road, asking whether you're still sharp enough to continue as you are. At night, you ride with a quiet awareness that nothing happens instantly. The road feels less crowded, and that space changes how you move through it. You leave more space than usual. You take a little more time with each decision, just enough to keep your movement smooth and in control, because nothing about it feels tense or forced, and fear isn't what guides you. Instead, there's a steady sense of responsibility that follows you along the road. Quiet, but constant. It doesn't spoil the experience or keep it flat. In fact, it keeps everything practical, focused, and real. Meanwhile, other vehicles on the road feel unpredictable after dark. You notice the way headlights pull things closer than they really are, making speed feel uncertain and timing less forgiving. Drivers are tired, distracted, impatient, or simply unaware. Being visible doesn't mean being noticed. You feel that risk more clearly at night, and it keeps you alert. Lane positions matter more, and even timing matters more. Anticipation starts happening before you consciously think about it. Your body reading small changes in light, movement, and sound, and you're responding without needing instruction. That constant calculation keeps your mind fully occupied. Not rushed, just present, moving slightly ahead of the moment you're in. You don't notice how engaged you are until later when you realize there was no space for anything else. Cooler air settles into sleeves and gloves, and the bike begins to sit differently on the surface beneath it. Grip no longer feels constant. Moisture is sensed before it's seen. Actually, familiar routes stop offering guidance, so memory steps aside and the road is readable again in real time, one stretch after another. The change isn't dramatic or tense. The shift is subtle, guiding attention toward the road as it presents itself, not as memory expects it to be. And yet, despite all of this pressure, or maybe because of it, night riding can feel deeply calming in its own way. Once your body adapts, once your vision adjusts and your rhythm settles, something clicks. Your movements smooth out and breathing evens. The rush stabilizes into focus. Then fear becomes specific, not abstract. You stop thinking about danger in general and start responding to real conditions as they appear. The ride settles into something more grounded. At night, emotion stops reacting and starts observing. With fewer distractions, thoughts stay buried during the day tend to surface when the road quiets and narrows, leaving nothing else to demand attention. That solitude can feel heavy or simply real. The rush isn't loud. It comes from holding focus long enough to let the ride unfold smoothly, mile after mile, without interruption. Night has a way of shortening the distance between action and awareness. Small missteps surface right away before they have time to be excused. The feedback is direct and unfiltered, leaving little room to ignore it. Over time, that honesty builds respect, not through fear, but through repetition. After dark, restraints tend to last longer than confidence.
Yeah, so I'm gonna park there rather.
Stopping after a night ride feels different too. When you pull over, shut off the engine, and step away from the bike, the awareness doesn't disappear right away. Your body still stays alert, but also relieved. Gear choices suddenly feel heavier after the ride, because at night, everything that seemed minor before now proves it wasn't. Visibility matters. Comfort matters. Night riding has a way of exposing weak decisions without exaggeration. Clarity is why night rides are more memorable. When attention is fully engaged, memory holds on. Miles don't blur. Every stretch of road carries intention. Decisions carry intention rather than reflex. The road at night strips away excess and leaves only what holds up on its own: judgment, restraint, and awareness. There's no audience and no sense of performance. Only the rider, the machine, and a narrow stretch of road that leaves little room for assumption. Some riders avoid that space. Others return to it, not in search of danger, but for clarity. It brings habits into focus and exposes limits that daylight tends to soften. When the ride finally settles, what remains feels sharper. Not louder or dramatic, just honest. Night riding doesn't promise improvement, but it insists on honesty, focus, limits, and what riding truly asks in return. If you've ridden at night, you probably recognize that feeling immediately. And if you haven't, maybe you're wondering what it would show you. I'd like to hear how night riding has shaped your own experience, or why you chose to avoid it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more honest reflections about riding. I'll see you on the next ride.